Hey guys, Hello World here. Just wanted to let you guys know that I got a new mic, so I should sound different. The audio quality should be a lot better. Just know that I'm not a professional in any way, and this mic is like super sensitive to noise, so you're gonna hear like a lot of background noise. I'll try to figure out how to turn that down. I just made an Instagram, so if you guys want to follow me at hello.world2025. Today's video, it's actually a little different than what it usually is. Me and my brother, we built a desktop, and one of my friends gave me the idea of recording the process of me building this desktop. So even though it's not a gaming video, I thought it would be a cool thing to share on YouTube. So that's what this video is about, as you probably saw from the title. I will put the links in the description for all the parts in the build, starting off with the Apevia Prodigy BK Micro ATX gaming case. It has a glass panel which allows you to see the inside of the desktop and comes with 3 RGB fans. Next up, a AMD Ryzen 5 2600 processor with Brave Stealth Cooler. For the motherboard, I went with the B450 Plus Tough Gaming motherboard. For the memory of the desktop, I decided to go with a 1TB SSD. I may add a 1TB HDD hard drive eventually. I ordered 16GB of RAM from Amazon. For both the SSD and the RAM, I just ordered from any company. I didn't really think it mattered. For the power box, I got a Thermaltake Smart Series 500 watts. And finally, the most expensive part of a desktop, the graphics card. For the graphics card, I got a GeForce GTX 1660 OC 6GB graphics card. Now it's time to start opening everything up and getting ready to build a desktop. Start off with the motherboard. From there, I opened up the power supply because that's the first thing you install when you're building a desktop. After organizing my desk, I grabbed the graphics card. I didn't expect it to have as much protection as it did. From there, I went on to open up the SSD card. Next was the Ryzen processor. It took me a while to open it because it was 2 boxes in one. I decided to leave the RAM in the package until I needed it, so the last thing that I opened was the case. So everything's finally unpacked, and now it's time to get to the meat and potatoes and build this desktop. Like I mentioned earlier, the first step in building a desktop is to install the power box. After I install the power box, I just put the case away because I'm not going to be touching that for a while. The main focus is the motherboard from there on. The first thing you install on the motherboard is the processor, which is what I'm getting ready to install. After you install the processor, you install the fan that goes above it, the cooling fan. But before I can install the fan, I have to take off 4 screws from the motherboard that's preventing me from putting the fan on. Alright, now that all the screws are taken out, I can actually put the fan on. I don't know if you guys will notice since I have it sped up, but as soon as I try to screw in the fan, it like tilts to the side, it rotates over, and it like basically messes everything up. And then it takes me so much longer to screw it in. I cut out most of it, but it took me like a good 5-10 minutes just to screw that in. After screwing in the fan, you have to get into the motherboard. That way it gets power so it can actually turn on. The next step is plugging in the RAM. After making sure the RAM is properly plugged in, it's time to install the SSD card. almost there. All that's left is to install the motherboard into the case, install the port frame on the back of the desktop, install the graphics card onto the motherboard, and then do all the wiring, and then we're done. I don't think the port frame is really necessary, it just makes it look a lot cleaner. It comes with the motherboard, so might as well install it. It's always good to have a snack break real quick. Installing the motherboard isn't hard, it's just tedious because there's a lot of screws that you need to put in, and before you put in the screws you have to put like the headers under the motherboard. You'll see in the picture of the screws what I'm talking about. After my brother placed the motherboard into the right position, all I had to do was just screw in all the screws. It was pretty simple from there. Alright, now that the motherboard is screwed into place, all that's really left is just to put in the graphics card onto the motherboard and just do all the wiring to make sure everything turns on and make sure everything functions. And then that's it, we're done. Now, the wiring took us like a good hour and a half, so I just kept that out of the video just because I didn't want to make this video too long. And this is what it looks like after we're done. Hello world, out.